Welcome to our video exploration of grammatical uses and components. In this session, we'll delve into the essential building blocks of language, dissecting the key components that shape our sentences, and exploring how grammatical rules govern effective communication. Whether you're a language enthusiast, a student refining your writing skills, or simply curious about the intricacies of language structure, join us on this journey to unravel the mysteries of grammar. Orthographic and punctuation rules. Capital letters mark the beginning of a sentence, beginning of a proper noun, and is used for titles. Here are some examples. We went to France last summer. We were really surprised that it was so easy to travel on the motorways. Dr. David James is a consultant at Leeds City Hospital. Oliver is a musical based on the novel Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Question marks and exclamation marks. They make clear that what is said is a question or is used an exclamative clause. Examples. Why do they make so many mistakes? Listen! Colons. They are used to introduce lists. Introduce direct speech to indicate a subtitle or to indicate a subdivision of a topic. Between sentences, when the second sentence explains or justifies the first sentence. Examples. There are three main reasons for the success of the government: economic, social, and political. Life in Provence, a personal view. Then, he said, I really cannot help you in any way. Try to keep your flat clean and tidy. It will sell more easily. Semicolons. They are used instead of full stop to separate two main clauses, although they are not commonly used. Example, Spanish is spoken through South America. In Brazil, the main language is Portuguese. Quotation marks. We enclose that it says within a pair of singular or double quotation marks, although singular quotation marks are becoming more common. We can put the reported clause in three different positions. When we use direct speech inside direct speech, we use either single quotation marks inside double quotation marks, or double quotation marks inside single quotation marks. Examples. She said, where can we find a nice Indian restaurant? Or, she said, where can we find a nice Indian restaurant? It was getting really cold, he said, and they were saying, when can we go back home? The fitness trainer said, don't try to do too much when you're being. Quotation mark after comma introducing speech and after full stop. Commas. They are used to separate a list of similar words or phrases. Separate the clauses. Separate words or phrases that mark where the voice would pause slightly. Separating clauses with commas. Separate tags and yes/no responses with commas. Separate vocatives, discourse markers, and interjections. Examples. It's important to write in clear, simple, accurate words. Footballers these days earn more money and they are fitter and play many more matches. If you get lost in the city center, please don't hesitate to text us or phone us. They are going to the party, aren't they? I can tell you now, however, all will be revealed tomorrow at midnight. Well, what do you think we should do about it? Discourse marker. Dashes. They are more common in formal writing. Write your second topic or idea. Example, our teacher, who often gets across when we are late, wasn't cross at all. No one could believe it. Here we are, says explorer when arrived in the most dangerous jungle. This will be easy. Brackets. A similar function to dashes. Use around the dates and page numbers. Example: Triblow, pronounced Triblow, is a small village in the eastern part of England. Heaton, 1978, gives a convincing explanation of how hurricanes are formed. Page 27 and 32. Slashes. We use slashes in internet addresses. Example: you can find the figures you need on https://www. For more information, visit https://www. Numerals and punctuation. In British English, the date is usually given in the order day, month, year. In American English, the day and the month are in different order. Example: date of birth 1.8.1985. Date of birth 1/8/1985. Full stops. They indicate decimal points, and we can punctuate times with full stops or colons. Example: 6:5. The shops opened at 9:30. Common and proper nouns. Common nouns. They are nouns that used to refer to items in a generic way, without emphasizing a specific identity. Also used to refer to a general class or category of people, objects, places, or things. Here are some examples: dog, house, city, book. The boy plays with a ball in the park. Are nouns that are used to name a specific person, place, organization, or thing, and are written with an initial capital letter. Examples: Maria, Paris, Google, Mount Everest. Personal pronouns are words that replace nouns, avoiding unnecessary repetitions. They are divided into three grammatical reasons. First person, I, who is speaking. Second person, to whom is being spoken. Third person, of whom is being spoken. And then we have singular, I, you, he, she. Then plural, we, you, they. Reflexive pronouns are used when the action of the verb falls on the subject performing the action. In other words, the subject and the object are the same person. These pronouns are constructed by adding the suffix self. In English, myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourself, yourselves, themselves. Direct object pronouns are used to refer to the person, animal, or thing that directly receives the action of the verb, replaces a noun that acts as the direct object in a sentence. John bought a bicycle. A bicycle is a direct object. Indirect object pronouns. Sarah gave John an apple. The indirect object is John because he is the recipient of the direct object, an apple, which is the thing being acted on the verb gave. Verb moods. They are grammatical forms that indicate the speaker's attitude toward what the verb is expressing. There are four main moods in English: indicative, imperative, subjunctive, and conditional. Indicative. This mode is used to express facts, statements, or direct questions. Imperative. This mode is used to give orders, make requests, or express wishes. In the affirmative form, an explicit subject is not used. Subjunctive. This mode is used to express wishes, suggestions, hypotheses, or hypothetical situations. Conditional. This mode is used to express hypothetical or conditional situations, that is, events that would depend on something else that has not yet happened. Reflexive verbs. They are those that indicate that the action of the verb falls on the subject itself. These verbs are usually constructed with a reflexive pronoun, which is placed after the verb. Reflexive verbs. Reflexive verbs are used when the action of the verb is directed back onto the person or thing performing the action. Here are some examples. I wash myself every morning. Here, wash is a reflexive verb, and myself is a reflexive pronoun, indicating that the subject I is also the object of the action. She dressed herself in a hurry. Dressed is a reflexive verb, and herself is a reflexive pronoun. They taught themselves how to play the guitar. Thought is a reflex verb, and themselves is a reflexive pronoun. Indicative present simple, present progressive, indicative future simple, and periphrastic future. Indicative present simple. Formation. For most verbs, it is formed by adding s or es to the third person singular, he, she, it. Use. Used to express habitual actions, universal truths, and permanent facts. Indicative present progressive. Formation. It is formed using the present tense of the verb to be. Am, is, are. Together with gerund of the main verb ing. Usage. Used to describe actions that are occurring at the same time of speaking or temporary actions. Indicative future. Formation. It is formed using the modal will, followed by the infinitive of the main verb. Used. Used to express future action without indicating an establishing plan. Periphrastic future. Formation. It is formed using the present tense of the verb to be. Am, is, are, followed by the gerund of the main verb ing. Usage. Used to express future actions that are planned or agreed upon. Structure of a simple sentence. Simple sentences are compounded by noun, independent clause, one verb plus complement. Examples: the dog walked in the park. I cook a cake in the kitchen. Kelly drinks water. The shy boy cries because of the scary movie at the cinema. Negating verbs in the simple present tense. Timmy does not like coffee. We do not eat pizza. Articles. There are only 3 articles in English: an, a, the. Definite articles. The boy is running. The girl is reading. Indefinite articles. A, an. The girl is reading a book. Sally is an animal. Let's go practice. Lesson 1. She had good idea. Lesson 2. He found interesting job. Lesson 3. Ignorance of that man is not to be believed. Adjectives. Describe the qualities or states of being of nouns. She feels unhappy. The sky has grown dark. 3 forms: absolute, comparative, and superlative. Absolute adjectives describe something: a cool guy, a messy desk. Comparative adjectives make a comparison between 2 or more things. Suffix er, a cooler guy. For adjectives of 3 or more syllables, add the word more, a more mischievous cat. Superlative adjectives indicate that something has the highest degree of quality in question. Suffix ext or use st for adjectives that already end in e: the coolest guy, the messiest desk, the rightest, most rigid guideline, the most awful situation. Coordinate adjectives separated by a comma. This is going to be a long call to winter. Linguistic components: phonetics, phonology, and lexicology. Definition of linguistics. Linguistics is the science to study of language structure and development, encompassing phonetics, phonology, and lexicology, with additional topics to be defined later. Phonetic studies speech sounds using IPA for classification. Phonology studies abstract properties of sounds, categorizing segments as voice or voiceless. Both fields have implications in forensic investigation and language teaching. Phonology. Phonology studies language patterns and sounds, focusing on categorical organization and meaning conveying is related to psycholinguistics. Cognitive science sociolinguistics, and technology. Phonology identifies language differences and underlying representations. Lexicology. Lexicology studies complex words. Morphology, semantics, and etymology distinguish them from syntax, which deals with general language facts. It differs from grammar, which focuses on specific units. Linguistic elements. Semantics, semiotics, and dialectology. Semantics. Semantics is a subdiscipline of linguistics that studies meaning in language, examining its construction, interpretation, and negotiation by speakers and listeners. It is closely related to pragmatics, which studies meaning in context but focuses on theoretical research. Semiotics. Semiotics studies symbolic communication, including signs, logos, and gestures. It focuses on how people interpret symbols and signs through metaphors, analogies, allegories, metonymy, and symbolism. Companies use semiotics to communicate with diverse languages and cultural preferences. Dialectology. Dialectology studies accent and dialect communities, focusing on differences in vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. It involves linguistic analysis of phonetic, syntactic, and lexical features, considering factors like class, gender, and age. Dialectology is not used for linguistics but also applicable to everyday language, including direct contact and variations on media. Semantic noise. Semantic noise is a communication issue where a speaker uses complex language, making it difficult for the recipient to understand. Effective communication relies on shared meaning and minimizing complexities. Words can change over time and experience can influence message receptions. Understanding semantic noise helps recognize and prevent it, as language and countries are formed by sounds. Effective communication involves various noises, including semantic noises. Improving language through reading and seeking feedback can enhance understanding and improve communication.